I'm Päivi, a Finnish artist. In this video I want to guide you to paint and draw a small flower. So let's pick a piece of blank paper, something like 4 by 4 inches, 10 by 10 centimeters. Let's pick watercolors first and then colored pencils and create a small flower. You can use it in any art journal page. Here's my flower here. When you have those pages that are not quite there, that miss a focal point or something, if you enjoy making backgrounds, for example, you can just create a small flower. Like I have a box full of these. You will need a small piece of paper, watercolors and colored pencils. Since I'm going to cut the flower out of paper and stick it in an art journal page, I will not use thick watercolor paper, but thinner drawing paper that is water resistant enough. Start by mixing the base color of the flower. You can choose any color, but use enough water to dilute the color so that it's light. Paint a circle so that the brush wanders from the beginning to the end of the circle. Think about wandering, walking and swaying. This makes the edge frilly. Leave the center unpainted. Dilute the color further and paint another round. Make a third round on the very outside edge, only using water. This will gradually lighten the edges of the flower outwards. Let the painting dry. Once the first layer has dried, you can continue. Now imagine that you are not painting a flower. Imagine that you are painting a mysterious figure that you want to touch with your brush. The figure has two sides, dark and light. Paint the dark side first so that some light color also appears near the center. Leave the light side unpainted. Then paint the opposite side of the flower's center so that it's also darker. Fade the outer edge so that it blends into the light side of the flower. So the flower has two dark areas now. If there's still a lot of white in the center, you can make the center smaller by painting with a light color. Add individual light spots to the light side, then let the painting dry. When the second layer has dried, you can continue again. The flower will be more lively if it also has a color other than the base color. Paint the center with green or use the contrasting color of the base color. So if your flower is blue, for example, you can use orange. You can change the brush to a thinner one, and that also adds variety to the flower. Continue by painting small triangles. They represent the shadows between the petals. You can mix the colors together and thus get a natural tonal variation. Finally, reinforce the dark areas. So add more darkness to one outer edge of the flower and to the dark part on the other side of the center. After this, let the painting dry. Let's continue the flower with colored pencils. The painting must be completely dry now. Add small triangles and arcs by coloring. I have 7 colored pencils. 3 are different tones of red, 2 brown, 1 black and 1 green. Make sure that the dark parts remain darker than the lighter ones. You can soften and lighten the colored pencil marks with an eraser. When the flower looks finished, cut it out of the paper. Move the scissors back and forth to create a frilly edge. Place the flower upside down on the table and check that it's roughly circular in shape. Finish the flower a little more. Squint your eyes and make sure that the dark areas stand out from the light ones enough, so your view is blurry and you see the contrasts better. Then adjust the center of the flower where the flower's soul is. Find a look and personality that appeals to you. A simple shape can have a personality. Think about that. What kind of shape you want to be in the center? What kind of sort of nuance you want to add to the flower? I also color the other side of the flower green so that it can easily be combined with any background that has a bit of greenish tones. When you want to create art more regularly and when you want to grow your artistic thinking, not only so that you explore all the technical possibilities of different mediums, but also that you use your imagination more and you get new ideas, I invite you to join my weekly newsletter. And my weekly newsletter is connected to my weekly blog. So every week I send you a link to the latest blog post where I share more ideas. I don't have videos every week, but I have some art to share and some ideas to share. And I'm quite sure that if you enjoy creating art, or if you want to start creating art more, you will enjoy this. So welcome to subscribe. I also have online courses where we draw animals and where we draw all kinds of magical stuff, all kinds of imaginary stuff, where we also paint flowers. I love flowers, that's one of my favorite topics. But we all do all that really freely, not by using references, but by learning to draw without references. Because I think that is one of the big joys in life, that you can just pick a blank paper and start creating freely. And I love the excitement that's there, that when you don't quite know how the end result will look like, and sometimes you're gladly surprised, sometimes you may be a bit disappointed, but every time the ideas move forward and every time you get more connected with your work. So I love to be an advocate of creating freely and creating from imagination. I've done that for many years. I'm a full-time artist nowadays. It has been one of the biggest joys in my life, and I hope that it will become one of the biggest joys in your life too, to be able to draw and paint freely. Whatever comes up is what you want to see. create any images like animals and use them as a picture prompt for an art journal. So I have a squirrel over here and then a wolf over here, and I filled the rest of the page around it. So the actual tiny little piece, just tiny, can be an inspiration for the whole page. Or, like I said, just add the missing detail, the missing focal point to the page that you've already made. This is just a small thing, but it can really boost your enthusiasm. And for me, it always works so that it's easy to start creating art when I already have something. And it's also fun to collect. I have these kind of boxes where I collect these individual pieces, and it's fun to draw and collect those and then use them for art journals.